For what feels like a month now, Joe Manchin has been needlessly feuding with AOC, just constantly attacking her because the sort of people that he wants to appeal with hate AOC. So let's take you back a little bit and then we'll give you the update. So he touted his role as a centrist lawmaker, is back during the election, who sees a quote, golden opportunity to bring the country back together and to work in the middle, which as we've been talking about, that doesn't work, it hasn't worked, it's not gonna work. And there's nobody in the country that wants you to talk more about working in the middle than Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz, and all of them who are gonna try to stop literally anything from happening over the next few years. But anyway, last month he drew the ire of Ocasio-Cortez and others after he said of efforts to redirect police funding, defund my butt, which is a weird way to put it, admittedly, but at least it did lead to my favorite tweet in the history of Twitter, which was AOC tweeting just this photo of her back at Joe Manchin. Which is the best. Anyway, and I would tell her it's the best, but it's not my fault, it's her fault. Anyway, so he responded with, I guess she put the dagger stare on me. I don't know the young lady, I really don't. I never met her. I'm understanding she's not that active with her bills or in committee. She's more active on Twitter than anything else. So first of all, I would love to say things to Joe Manchin that I am not allowed to based on the format that we're on. I can't say those things, but she said, I find it amusing when politicians try to diminish the seriousness of our policy work, movement organizing, and grassroots fundraising to, she just tweets, as though serious politics is only done by begging corporate CEOs for money through wax-sealed envelopes delivered by Raven. And yes, that is my second favorite tweet ever now because of the Game of Thrones reference at the end. But that is true. So we're gonna have some numbers. We're gonna actually compare them. But JR, what do you think about this feud, first of all?
Yeah, it's gonna, first of all, that whole line when he said, I don't know the young lady, never met her, but my understanding is that she doesn't do anything else but tweet. That's virtually what he said. Where'd you hear that from, Joe? I mean, if we're interviewing someone and you say such a direct statement about someone that you've never met, never talked to, don't think about that much, how do you know all this about her then? Who told you that she doesn't do anything else? I'm just curious. I mean, by the way, Joe Manchin comes off as this soft-spoken, nice guy. This is what he thinks he comes off as. Is what he tries to. Soft-spoken, nice guy who speaks with this tone of, well, you know, Bill, what I just want to do is just make sure that everything is great for our nation, and I just represent the people of West Virginia. No, but when he wants to be, he can be vicious. Sure, yeah, he can try and demean someone in their positioning and actually what they do for the country. There's also times when he had his little back and forth with Donald Trump, but I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I'm gonna let you continue.
Okay. Now, in terms of the actual numbers, because after all, she doesn't do anything, she just tweets or whatever. Lauren Hitt, a spokeswoman for Mrs. Ocasio-Cortez, said the congresswoman had submitted more amendments than 90% of other freshmen, including those promoting fair housing and a tear gas ban that passed the House, and had missed fewer votes than Mr. Manchin. Specifically back in 2019, he missed 1.2% of all Senate votes, ranking him in the middle among many fellow senators as far as votes missed. During that time, she missed only 0.3%. She co-sponsored 553 bills compared with his 423, and both of them put their support behind 11 pieces of legislation that went on to become law. And by the way, so she's higher numbers or the same for these things, but let's bear in mind, she just finished her first term as a congresswoman. He's a senator with a lot of experience, a lot of connections, a far bigger staff and all of that, and understandably higher expectations that he'll actually deliver. So lagging or just matching her is not a draw in this case. He's actually slacking, but she spends too much time on Twitter. I'd argue based on these numbers, she's earned a little bit of time on social media. What is he doing? Seriously, what is he doing with his time? Because he's still talking about her. He could have tweeted it, he did it in an interview, but instead of talking about legislation, he is talking about her after all.
Yeah, so that's the way this guy operates. And we're talking about people who tweet too much. Again, let's bring up the president of the United States, the biggest tweeter in the world, gotta be honest. This guy.
Other than Neera Tanden. She tweeted more, but anyway.
Is he concerned about what the president is always tweeting and not getting anything else done? Because probably the things that the president has gotten done, executive orders, shoving things through, intimidation, appointing people, people in positions that don't get confirmed, just make them like the temporary head of some department. All those things that he does that don't actually go through the normal portals of our systems. Does he have a problem with him? Because right after Joe Manchin, to his credit, did vote to impeach, to continue on with the impeachment trial with Trump. Trump got very angry, called him Joe Munchkin, and said the people of West Virginia aren't gonna forget this, you're gonna lose. And when Manchin won, he relayed this conversation that he had with Trump, where Trump very nicely said, oh yeah, I knew we couldn't beat you, but it wasn't for a lack of trying, Joe. And Joe and he had a nice laugh. Yeah, you tried to beat me, huh, Donald? Oh, yeah,
you tried to end my career.
This is crazy.
I'm still gonna give you what you want.
That you can laugh over and tell Fox News about how awesome it was. But then when AOC has something she actually wants to say and actually do for the American people, all she does is just tweet. It's weird how he only sees tweeting when it comes to someone who he opposes versus someone he doesn't oppose, which is Donald Trump. Yeah. He also boasts about how he votes for Trump all the time. Now, lastly, there was one other point when they asked him before, as the re-election was coming, and Joe Manchin decided to say, well, there's a possibility I could still endorse the president. The same president that you voted to continue impeachment hearings on, you're willing to potentially endorse. His reasoning was, everybody can change. Maybe the president will change, Maybe that uniter will come out versus the divider. Really? Did that work out yet? Is someone gonna follow up from him? Hey, back in February, Joe, you said that maybe this new uniter might come out. Did that happen? Do you regret saying that? Do you regret propping him up? Do you regret giving him any kind of legitimacy after he attacked you multiple times and then you laughed about it? Yeah. Is there anything about his Twitter account that you want to talk about, Joe? No, because he likes the president. And no, because he thinks he can continue his political career in West Virginia by supporting the president and promoting him and propping him up. AOC doesn't help that because he's not interested in the same things that AOC is interested in, which is the American people.
Yeah, so he wants another term. He's gonna get another term. What does he want it for? What is he gonna do the next 6 years? He's gonna stop stuff. That's what he's gonna do. People come up with ideas like changing up police funding and stuff like that, and he stops it. That's it. She comes in to do things. He comes in to stop things from being done. And there are way more of the stoppers than the doers. Two last thoughts on this. One, referring to someone as a young lady, does it have to be misogynistic? Theoretically not. Is it in this case? 100%.
Absolutely.
She's a congresswoman. Okay, you can call her Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. That's what you can call her. She's not a young lady to you, okay? And she's getting more done. And by the way, the other thing is, and I just learned this from JR. On February 9th, how did I not know this? 4 days after my birthday, on February 9th, Trump did indeed tweet, they are really mad at Senator Joe Manchin in West Virginia.
Absolutely. Sure did.
He called a senator Joe Manchin. How did I not do the whole show on that day? That's so crazy. It's not, is it funny? Kind of, but not as a slam. Munchkins are cute. That's such a deeply weird thing to do. That is a really, really bizarre thing for a person to do and to leave up. 17,000 people liked it so much, they retweeted the Munchkin thing. Anyway.
Well, all I'm saying is good thing the uniter came out instead of the divider.
Yeah. Could it have been autocorrect? No. It's Trump, it's definitely not autocorrect. It's definitely, he thought, he was sitting there, he was getting ready to wipe, and he thought, I'm gonna call him Munchkin. That's what happened. I'm not gonna give you any more details on that context. You know exactly.
I was about to go in further detail, and I shouldn't.
No, we should not. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.